Are you dancing? Hi. Okay.
Feeling so fresh, so juicy.
I've been a fan, baby, I just wanna kick it. I've been a fan, I don't mind getting the ticket. Girl, it's your show, your show, your show. Girl, it's your show, your show, your show, your show. I've been a fan, baby, I just wanna
Yate kila twende place tutashiba no regrets tutawika bawe bless bila shida bila stress kini pattern meji base kini.
Hey Chozen.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Kasalama.
Alright.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay, first things first, yeah. I just wanna find out, you know, your name, Chozen Afitra. Did I get that right?
Afitra.
Afitra.
Yeah.
Chosen by all means because the music you're making is a bomb.
Oh, fine.
Okay. But Afitra, how did that come about? Or like just speak about the name in general.
It came about when I started producing. I wanted to focus more on the African element of producing, so I had to go back into people like Fela Kuti or people like that in that line. So, but then at that time I also loved the trap music element. So I just combined Africa and trap. So I mixed the words and made Afitra.
Okay.
So it came. Now I was already using Chozen. The guys used to call me Chozen. So I took the first part, the second part of Chozen and Chozen Afitra. So that's how the name came about. And from then I've just been using it.
Right.
True.
Okay. So you say you were looking into guys like Fela Kuti and stuff. Do you think you've drawn any inspiration from their kind of work, or like, you know, what made you want to represent it up to your name, you know, like to the T?
I think they're dope musicians, and that's
obviously.
what
Legends.
I love about music, like the aspect of it being so dope that when you listen to it, it's like, damn, what was this nigga thinking when he was making this thing, you know? So it's like, that's what I want to portray in my music, like dope music. That's what I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Would you consider yourself an underground cat? You know, like wearing into a Chinyawoyes, ama. Hey, like in what I'm trying to ask is, before, you know, someone directed me to your sound, I have to say I didn't even know, you know, that you're out here like that. So are you an underground cat, or how are you moving in the streets as Chozen?
I am underground. And the people I'm with right now making music, that's what we term ourselves as. But with time, we just have to get to the masses, because I want to spread the message. There's a message that is coming to me, and I know I'm gonna have to send it out one day. So, but right now we're underground.
Right.
Yeah.
From my research, I see that you started, I think, I don't know, but like you had a project last year, your first project before the one that you had this year in May. Do you want to speak on, you know, your last year's project and how that was?
I was working with my boy, he's my producer as well. It's called Dante, Gitu. So
shout out Dante.
Shout out Dante. So we made a whole album, 13 songs, with him both producing and lyrics being written. And it was actually amazing, and the feedback we got was so dope.
Yeah.
And it gave me a chance to just at least put out something, because people are normally afraid of doing the first step of releasing one thing. So once we released it, I just got more psyched to do a lot of other things.
Right.
And from there I've just been releasing either singles, or now the project this year I released with my homie Y9.
Yeah. Y9.
Yeah.
Wow. You know it's spelled Y9. Hey, what? That's so cool.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Shout out.
Yeah, so we did a 7-track songs, and this one was fire for days. And
this one was fire, I have to say.
yeah, and for sure videos are coming out soon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm excited for that.
What's your music making process like? Like, you know, when you started last year, would you imagine, like you said, you know, that gave you momentum to push further and just do the thing. But when you were starting, how are you feeling about getting into the music industry? You say you're an underground cat. You know, I'm sure that first step was not easy to make, but now you're here and you're churning out big tunes, I have to say.
Thanks.
So, you know, how's that been like, your music making process?
It's I think you have to give energy to all you're doing. So I gave a lot of energy to music, even if I had school.
Speak to us about that, because I know for a fact a lot of, you know, cats have to strike a balance in that. So
it's challenging. Because if you split energy, you'll still have less energy in one end. And it was hard, but the music, I just loved music so much, so I pushed it more. So with what I would do is I would reach out to people, produce with guys, reach out to artists, make music with them, call guys over, and also improve my space, like improve my studio space. And just improving on things that I needed for the studio. If it's a laptop I needed, buy a new laptop. If it's a mic I needed, buy a mic. If it's keyboard we need, get a keyboard. Investing in it as well. And also like making the music itself is something you have to take time to do, because everything you have to learn. And it's like you can't produce good music if you've not even tried sitting down every day. Because at some point I was making 4 beats a day. So I have so many files and a lot of cloud storage, because I have like, in a month if you're making 120 beats.
Because you're doing 4 beats a day.
Yeah.
Heck.
So you have to really invest, because you have to learn, and because people out there, people have been doing this for long, and you have to catch up to them. That's the thing. And if you put your energy on it, good things will come.
Yeah.
So if you do the right things will happen, and they're happening.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can say so yourself.
I can.
Hey, the man himself, guys, you heard us. The things are happening. Okay, so in actually balancing, school and just other stuff and your music, what do you think has worked well for you? Is it time management? Is it just like being a resourceful person? What do you think, you know, has helped you, you know, reach the heights you have just, you know?
Yeah, time management for sure is one thing. Because I was raised in that culture of planning.
Right.
Planning what you have to do. And if you don't have a plan, for sure you'll fail, because if I know myself, if I don't plan, I'll be bombing out the whole day. And you know the way these days time flies.
These days.
Yeah, time
Never used to fly so
Hey, these days is flying like already in September, coming September, you know. Like we just have, even if Corona just started in May, we're already in September, man. Like, damn.
Facts. You're not facts, actually.
Yeah, so if you aren't doing anything, you have to just start doing something. Then doing something every day, that's the thing.
Okay.
You have to do something every day.
Okay. Your sound isn't, you know, very common either. What motivates your style of music? Where did you get your inspo? You know, what kind of people do you look up to in the game?
Growing up.
But speak to me first about your sound.
My sound.
Yeah.
My sound, I term it as chill hop.
Okay.
Or chill trip hop or something like that. Trip hop most likely. because I love melody. And I love a bass, so I love melody and bass together. And all the things that come with drum.
It really does come through.
Yeah.
Even in your flow.
Yeah.
It's like, you've mastered.
Yeah, so I love that element and dark sounds, dark melodic, bassy sounds. So that's my sound. Yeah, it's like 3 elements in one.
Okay.
Because when I'm making the beat, I'll either start with either. And from there I know either add the if I start with melody, I do the bass. Okay. And then the other drums. If I start with drums, I'll do the bass and then I do the melody. But that's my trifecta. You know. So
that's the basics, like foundation.
Yeah.
To the build up and.
Yeah. So like with other sounds, with Kenyan producers like Clemo. Yeah, Clemo is one of the main ones because growing up, listening to Nonini and
Gitu, Clemo.
Yeah, Clemo has inspired a lot of what because all those melodies used to put, and then the bounce of the music, and then the artists, the way they come, they do their thing. Like, wow, that shit, it was so mad, so mad,
Wow, so you're very homegrown, I have to say.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say Sijui who from where, but you bring it back home.
I have to. Musioka. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Man, you guys are dope. Even like Jenki Beer.
Yo, that's a second. Wow. Okay.
Jenki Beer is fire for days, when I had her hair, that it murdered me. I was like, how am I going to make music? How the hell am I going to make music? And that's what drove me. Because these guys are dope and I want to make music that moves people like that. Yeah. Okay.
All right. I feel like you're one for collaborations. You've talked about Wanaina and Dante. Yes. How do you then go about, reaching out to people and knowing, okay, this is someone good that I can work with? How do you go about your collaborative process?
First of all, I just reach out like either through Instagram or someone knows them. Okay. And then we chill in studio. Okay. And then it normally comes off. If you're vibing, the vibe is there. And in the studio, I normally say, let's not force whatever it is. Like, let's vibe off the energy.
Yeah, straight up.
Let's just make whatever we feel rhyme the way we want to, and then collaborate off that. Okay. So, and if it doesn't work out sometimes. And there are times in one session you can make 3 songs, 1 to 3 songs, or you can even make none that you like. So it just depends. But when you do find those people who you're with and who understand your sound, it's normally flowing. Yeah. Yeah.
And how do you do that? Do you just like you said, you just go on Instagram, or like you just source out by yourself?
You source out, yeah.
Okay.
You just reach out.
And something you feel like you'll resonate with for you.
Because if someone also wants to reach out to me, I actually listen to a lot of music, and I love local content or any type of content. So I just listen to their stuff and try to also feel their vibe. And when we do meet up, it's like I'll try to do my thing. They'll do whatever they'll do. And
what would you say, to you out of the project that you just dropped, Uhai? First of all, Uhai, that's just a loud statement. Uhai means life in Swahili, yeah? So how did you even come about that concept, like to name your project Uhai? Let's just start there before I even,
I felt, or rather we felt, the whole underground was dead. So we're bringing it back to life. So even with the cover art, you can see there like they're mannequins, but it represents like bodies. So it was like an ironic thing.
Yeah, that's very trippy.
Yeah, so bringing it back to life.
Yeah.
And good flow, good flow. Good Kenyan
You're just bringing
flow.
life into this.
Like, I don't think there's been another full Kiswahili album in a while like that. Unless there is, I don't know.
Wait, so you actually did the whole thing? Wait, the whole project is in Swahili?
Yeah.
Like you didn't use English?
No, there's some English, but most of it is in Kiswahili. Yeah.
And Benak kidogo hapo ndani. Kanasikia Kikuyu.
There is actually.
Yeah, which is dope.
Yeah.
It's dope, you know, because you have to represent, you know, your languages, I think. And I feel like when you communicate in your actual, you know, something that, what am I trying to say? Yeah, represent your languages.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I'm
we
trying
were
to say.
bringing it back to life. So now, why? In primary then, in high school I got into music, band and everything. I was in choir. I played drums, piano. And then, like I always wanted to produce, but I didn't know how to do it. Like I don't know why I didn't think there would be a program. I don't know. There wouldn't be I don't know. But when I found out, I went hard on it, you know. You have to learn that shit, catch up. So we go scan this thing.
Okay, let's do that.
I just downloaded this app. You guys don't believe me.
Let's see this app. Come, let's see the app. So it's a real thing, this, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, let's see. God is life.
Oh, wow. Eh? Let's see what?
I told you. Mean man.
Okay, Weka taught. That's a mad tune.
True.
Weka taught is a mad tune, you guys. If there's any song.
Kama tano kwenye glasi bila chase. They can call me Captain Morgan, spicing up the place. Walking on the air ni kama nimedunga chase. Tonight nimekachora ndio maana wezi ni trace.
No, because it's hype, you know.
Yeah,
I'm just talking about it and I'm already laughing because of the shenanigans in there. Hey, how was that? Like the music making process with that? How did you come about that? Were you drinking? Were you, you know, it's a vibe.
Oh, I thought we made it. We made it actually 6 months before we dropped it.
Okay.
Then when Anna, shout out to Nina again.
Shout out.
A dope ass artist, you know. He came one day just like, yo man, I have this song. I have this hook, yo. So he started, we recorded one time. Hey, we had that thing, we were like, wow, this thing, it's too heavy, too heavy.
Yeah.
So even what we did, we took 2 weeks each to write our verses. And yeah, the rest is history.
So it's a vibe. You're not even talking much to it. It's just as it is.
It was a whole story. Because we had to think, we were like, how are we going to talk about a whole night of drinking? You know, like an experience of Kenyan nights.
Yeah, my tune. Hey? So that's your experience. We can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of Kenyan nightlife.
Yeah,
Hey, you guys live different.
It is. We're the ones living different.
I don't know. I don't want to. That's another narrative, but yeah. Hey.
It's a fun.
Dope stuff.
Kenyan nights are fun. Yeah.
No one's lying. No one's saying at the what they are. In Win Now, yeah. You said, kama ni beef. Oh, kama ni beef nipe tamu kama nyama ya Kajiado. Wah. Me, first of all, I'm a Maasai. So I felt that to my bone. I was like, what does this nigga know about Nyamaya Kajiado?
See, it's the best. It's the best.
I bring it back. You write your lyrics by yourself. So again, this is off experience. This is your reality. Siati, you're being told.
Of experience.
Yeah.
Everything we write is of experience.
Talk to me about that. You write, you produce, you master, you actually go through the whole music making process.
It's a lot. It now comes down to planning. I used to ask a lot of other producers how they do it as well, and it just came down to either how specific days you're only recording, how specific days where you're only mixing, and other days for when you're only mastering or writing. So it's about planning your time, and with planning, everything just flows. Now it just comes to will you execute?
Okay, so as an underground cat, you know, what ways are you using to actually put your music out there? When I was doing my research, I went on your thing and I saw you have Spotify, you're on iTunes, you're on all that. But besides just putting your music out there, because that's one thing, yourself and your team and the guys you work with, how do you get around just pushing the narrative?
Pushing by getting other people to, like, let's say your WhatsApp contacts. I'll probably tell my WhatsApp contacts to tell their other WhatsApp contacts. That's one method, or through Instagram social marketing. Okay. So no, like sponsorship, or just you have to find all the avenues to get it out there. And memes. You need to do memes. Do memes.
Yeah. So it's just getting creative about it.
Getting creative and like short videos. I try to do a lot of short videos, which people really appreciate. Yeah,
it's cool stuff. I've actually checked it out. It's fun.
Yeah. So through all that, it's helped grow the brand, and I just have to keep doing it, and things will come.
Yeah,
for sure.
Right. And are you currently monetizing your music?
Yeah.
How does that work?
You have a distributor.
Okay.
So what it is, you have an agreement with them, and they distribute your music to all these platforms, whether it's Spotify, Tidal, Apple. So what they do is once people download or buy, they collect the royalties and they send it to your account. So, and you get statistics of how many people played your songs, on which platforms, how much money you get from each of those platforms. So it's actually a whole system.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I'm trying to understand this. So you actually get paid by those platforms where your music is at.
Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of just gigs.
Gigs. Now you also need to do shows, but right now shows have been down.
Like with last year's project, did you pick up speed with shows and stuff?
Yeah. Last year I had like 5 shows, but they were more of promo. You have to do a lot of promo first, and things just go nicely. But with a lot of campaigns, you have to get into a lot of campaigns.
Okay.
So either you're doing branding for a specific group, whether it's EABL or things like that.
Right. So a lot of
sponsorship, things like that. Because we organize a lot of events, so just the process of generating funds, all those stuff is you have to just find ways to, with T-shirts or other merchandise like cigarette smoking pipes, things like that, T-shirts and stuff.
Okay. what do you think, in your opinion as Chozen, what do you think can be done, to support, artists like yourself, underground cats who really are not out there in the mainstream media but are still making good music, music that is meaningful, like you said? What do you think can be done to support guys like you, besides us guys who consume your music, us guys who've heard about you from a friend? What kind of support would you vouch for as an underground artist?
Like a lot of, maybe more of creative centers.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of people these days who have spaces, so they can transform those spaces. I want to actually create a cultural space.
Right.
So that a lot of things can be done in this music, because there's a lot of talent. There's so much talent out here.
I agree. That's why I'm asking, what can actually, be done to support guys like you,
Yeah, those who have it, like, can make studios and just support whoever comes up, and once you support, things just work so well.
Do you think as Kenyans we support our own?
Some do, some don't. But yeah, that's
predominantly. You're not picking sides.
No, we're picking sides.
You don't say much.
I know how Kenyans can be.
Okay, fair enough.
Some do, some don't.
Okay. All right, and Chozen, in the next 5 years, where do you see yourself?
I see myself at shows. I see myself in other countries, traveling, just doing things to help people.
Yeah.
In terms of, now the studio I'm saying I want to build. So the studio will be up and running at that time. It will be like an art space.
Okay.
So in 5 years' time I'll have an art space.
Inshallah.
Maktub.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for kicking it with Natanya today. Yeah.
Like I've got a couple I can show you by the tens. They single but they bougie cause they rolled up in a Benz. I'm like sawa fiti, so a candy shop like 50. Leo hakuna struggles, boy child anapata swiftly. Unless ye ni shoga ama rada ye ashiki. But it don't matter Buddha just as long as tuko tipsy. Weka tot kama tano kwenye glasi bila chase. They can call me Captain Morgan, spicing up the place. Walking on the